everyone, this is a digital storytelling video by Silu Chen. I hope after watching this video, I could share with you my journey to bilingual teacher. I started from speaking dialect, but when I come to school, I start to speak both dialect and Mandarin. In schools, I always say, 老师，我有一个问题. That is, teacher, I have a question in Chinese.But for the most of the time, I spoke 淮北话 with my friends and family members. 我跟你说，我暑假作业一点都没做. That is, listen to me, I did none of this summer assignment. Not until third grade, I began to learn English as a second language. This following video is one of the most popular English textbook in my time, and I learned it so hard as a complementary course.It is worth noting that before I came to bilingualism, I did not recognize myself as a bilingual, although I spoke more than one language. At that time, I think bilingual is a person who is now regarded as a balanced bilingual. When it came to teachers' college, I came to know what is bilingual education and who is a bilingual teacher. To me, bilingual teacher is to instruct in two languages and the use of those two languages as a medium of instructions to better educate bilingual kids. So, I got to hit the road. The past 1.5 years witnessed my journey of becoming a bilingual teacher. I did several observations in the PS 94, PS 184 Hudson Way Language Immersion School and many others. In PS 94, the Henry Longfellow School, I was able to look at a bilingual school from a more holistic perspective. That is, from the school climate, the school language planning and the linguistic environment, and the teaching model, family, and culture. And then in PS 184, Shuangwen School, I had a precious opportunity to really know my focal kid, Alvin, by observing him in the regular school classes as well as after-school classes. This is interesting as well as challenging to observe and then learn about Alvin. Any kids may interruption differently than the teacher, have different ways of contributing to the topics, be familiar with different patterns of turn taken, and have a different understanding of nature of questioning and responses. In this case, I was able to know Alvin's lack of family support on reading and relatively exclusive community may vary how Alvin performed in a group work. According to my observation, he is more unlikely to finish doing his job in a hurry and does not consider to cooperate with her peers. I developed a rapport with Hudson Way in Chinese immersion school because I spent 2 semesters observing and teaching in the language immersion model that has been adapted to student needs and to this community. As thanks to Dr. Chen, I got the chance to move forward and teach in Hudson Way. Being a student intern helps me shape my teaching philosophy and the ways of instructions. I hold a belief in culturally responsive teaching approach, believe in the student's autonomy in learning process, believe in the collaborative learning to combine human resources and intelligence to create a nurturing and engaging learning environment for the bilingual kids. To do so, I first became a teaching assistant. I did 10 observations in the advanced Chinese immersion after school program, helping the classroom teacher manage the classroom, responsible for the small table work, leading some learning activities. At the same time, on the date of October 25th and November 22nd, I formally taught 1 Chinese literacy class and 1 Chinese math class respectively, with Li Wencai as a co-teacher in Hudson Way. The audience are a different group of kids. In the Chinese literacy class, I was teaching the lower academic level group of 3 kids, and in the Chinese math class, I was teaching the lower and the medium academic levels. When looking back to the literacy class, personally speaking, I did overall good on classroom management.
请小朋友看我，给我一个5，请小朋友看我。反娜，请你坐下来。好，孟子，请你看我。好，谢谢啊。
Varying teaching, material preparation, and implementation, and be able to connect to students' fund of knowledge and prior knowledge.
感节放假去哪里？孟子，请你告诉我。你要去哪里？哦，你要去华盛顿看爷爷。好的 ，Stella， 你告诉我你要去哪里？你说什么？芝加哥。好，凡娜告诉我。
中央公园。
你要去中央公园干。
It is worth noting that I employ various methods of presenting information and provide different options to engage students, including authentic cases, such as this video that you are watching now. It's from the very famous, popular soap opera from China that's Home with Kids. Besides, as Kathy and many others mentioned, I was able to connect to the formal class that taught by Li Wen and taught for social justice. And then in the math class, I feel honored to engage students by illustrating an authentic travel planning scenario where I open the floor for students so that boosting their autonomy in the learning process. Now you can see some of the questions that are listed on the screen. This two formal teaching practice, as well as observations in the classroom, helps me to see through how our new model of bilingual education works in the real classrooms. Through the process, I try story-based learning, text-based learning, co-teaching, as well as incorporating instructional technology. I try to put students in the center, letting them express their own ideas and comments on peers' works. By introducing authentic materials, I try to include the concept of modern family in China to the classroom, guiding them in the culture of the targeted language. Some of those ways of teaching works, some might not work so well due to practicability. I know that my journey to bilingual education, bilingual teacher, is to be continued, and it may never end easily. But I believe that we're able to, and I will go towards to the new model that created by us collaboratively. Looking again at the colorful, ideal bilingual classroom we created, and by every minute, I hope that what I was doing could move me one step further towards a beautiful class.